Okay, now I'm ready to print. And the first thing I need to do is figure out what my lightest color is going to be. So if I have black, blue, and brown, then the blue is going to be my lightest color. So that is what I will print first. I need to grab some papers, at least 5 of them, and you want to write your name, your class code, and you're going to want to put an arrow and then a number. So this will be my first paper that I print on, and I'm going to do it again. Class code, arrow up, and this is number 2. And I want to do this on all of my prints. So I'm consistent with where I am placing the paper, and it's important to keep track of what number print you are using as well. Okay, so I have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to take this stuff over to the printing station, and you're going to have an area that has newspaper on it, and then you are going to gather the ink supplies that you need. Most of the time we'll be printing on a tray, and because I want a light blue, I'm going to be mixing colors. So I want to talk about how you get your colors out of the container. So I'm going to start with white. Just like when we mix our paints, you always start with the lightest color first. So I'm going to take, and you should have a palette knife to get ink out of each of the spaces. So you're just going to take like a good glob, I guess. Because I'm doing a lighter color, I'm going to do I'm going to do a bigger scoop of white than I am going to of the blue. You want to scrape this off the edge, and then if it's the beginning of a class period, you're just going to set the knife on the lid like this. It's important that we use the same knife for the same color so that our white doesn't turn a different color. If it's the end of the class, then we'll be putting the lids on. Then I'm going to take some blue. I'm going to do the same thing. Open it up. Now I'm going to use a different knife. I'm going to put some blue next to it. Scrape it off, and then I'm going to put the lid on because I know that no one else is printing today. Now that I have my ink set out, I can take one of these mixing palettes and take a little bit of both and then just sort of mix it together. Our goal now is to get the ink on an even layer on our brayer. So I'm just going to take a little bit and I'm going to roll it out. If I just go back and forth, it spreads slowly, but it kind of stays in the same spot. It's important that you pick it up and go in both directions, horizontal and vertical. When you are printing, you should hear this tearing sound, and you should see what looks like kind of orange peel texture. This is about the texture that you're wanting. Now my brayer is completely covered, so I'm ready to go onto my linoleum. Now it's important that you ink up on newspaper. Just kind of go one direction, so you roll it and you don't go back and forth, because sometimes what happens is you can actually take some of the ink off that's on the print. So, and can you kind of hear how the ink is tearing as I roll it on? And you can see that it's a nice solid color, so it's probably ready to print. All right, so now that I have my linoleum inked up, it's really hard to tell what it is right now, but I'm going to put it in the bottom corner here on the registration board. You want to make sure that you know what number it is so that you are always using the same one. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to set it on the second layer here. And the goal of this is just to get the paper in the right place. Once you have it down, you're going to press it down. And once it's sort of stuck, you can actually take it off of the registration board so other people can use it. And then you're going to work on rubbing and making sure you get all of the ink onto the paper. You want to peek before you take it off completely. There's still some light areas, so I want to do a little bit more rubbing in a few areas, but you should see a solid color that covers up that white completely. And there you go. There is my first print, which actually goes this way. And now what I need to do is do this 4 more times, so I'm going to ink up and repeat the process.